Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. $100,000 milestone for Bitcoin represents a paradigm shift, says Galaxy's Mike Novogratz. Next, Bitcoin still in early innings at $100,000, ARK's Cathie Wood says. Also, Mt. Gox moves $2.4 billion in Bitcoin just after BTC surges past $100,000. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there are no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. I would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. It does help support the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline is an interview on CNBC with Galaxy's Mike Novogratz that aired December 5th, lasted a little over 5 minutes. He says $100,000 milestone for Bitcoin represents a paradigm shift.
Here now for more. I don't know if we should call it a victory lap. Mike Novogratz is the founder and CEO of blockchain company Galaxy and a early investor in Bitcoin. Mike, what's the portfolio statement at this point? How much money have you made off of this stuff?
Yeah, a lot. Listen, more important than the money, there's been a group of people for really 15 years that have tried to birth this asset into existence. And it's just a time to pause and recognize that it's a community that got together that decided they were going to store their hard-earned worth in this technology. And, if Satoshi was alive, because I don't think he is, I'm sure he'd have a big smile on his face. It was a great technology, but it's really the social construct that people learn to understand it and trust each other. Yeah. And so in a lot of ways, this is probably the greatest example of a broad-based coalition of people coming together to do something really spectacular. There is. And so I think, before we talk about price, I just want to recognize the moment, because $2 trillion asset in 15 years coming out of a guy's idea is pretty stinking spectacular.
It is, and I think there's a generational significance here as well. Many of the people who have made a lot of money in this are on the younger side, and maybe you look at what's, good luck trying to get into real estate, good luck with the stock market. This is a protocol that really has kind of minted a new generation of millionaires and maybe more at this point. A lot of people are also who have been, kind of the real buyers, have sticky hands or whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's people I know and who who have made a lot of money on this, and they still insist they are never selling. Why is that? Why is that?
Do you think that people?
Yes. Do you think that's still true?
This is a belief system for people, right? It's a belief system more so even than a financial asset for a lot of people. That said, I was on the phone with one of the great macro investors in the world, and we were discussing, we might have just seen in the last 3 months the single greatest wealth gain for 25 to 45-year-olds in history, right? Because they have a lot of their money in crypto. You've had crypto broadly double or more, depending on which collection of coins you own, and what impact that'll have on the economy, right? In general, 23% of wealth shocks get spent in consumption. And I think you're going to see, the tables at Miami are going to get bid back up on the Miami nightclubs, and people are going to be buying houses and cars. And so it'll be interesting to see if the Fed has an input of an increase in consumption from this massive wealth gain that a bunch of young people have made.
Oh, totally. Let me ask you still, for the skeptics, Mike, and even myself, when a neighbor of mine works at Coinbase, and I remember sitting down with him during COVID, and he wrote out the whole thing, he explained it all, and I thought, okay, I intellectually understand how this is unique and can be a valid and novel store of value, basically. But let's remember, this was also created with the idea of it being a unit of currency, a kind of native currency to the internet. No one wants to spend it anymore. We all want to hold it.
Listen, early on, it morphed itself from a payments idea to a store of value, to digital gold. And if you just simply think of this as the new generation's gold, it is a store of value. It will go up when people want it. It will go down when people say we don't need it. Right now there's a frenzy around buying Bitcoin all around the world. It's one of the first global assets, but there is so much leverage in the system, right? The basis, what it costs to fund long positions is as wide as I've ever seen it. And so will it last to the end of the year? I think so. Could it last to the inauguration? I think so. But I can guarantee all your listeners, there will be at least one, if not two, vicious retracements, which will test your soul, right? When there's that much leverage in a system, it washes it out. The bigger question is, why did I call this a paradigm shift? The reason I called it a paradigm shift is we had 4 years of horrible regulation and an administration that really didn't want to promote digital assets, Bitcoin, or any cryptocurrency in America. And America literally leads the world in regulation. If it doesn't work here, it's very hard for it to work elsewhere. And we have a president now, like him or not, he is great for the crypto industry. He has said early on he was going to be a crypto president, a Bitcoin president. He's got a cabinet full of believers, full of people that are long crypto. And so I think you can see with the choice of the SEC chair, we are going to have a much different regulatory environment. And that's going to allow innovation. It's going to allow TradeFi, the Citibanks of the world and everyone else to participate in this new asset class. And, it's tough because you can see on one hand, man, it feels very frothy and leveraged. A lot of the stocks feel expensive. On the other hand, it feels like the rest of the world is just going to get it. The traditional world is just going to get a chance to play.
Exactly.
Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline, Bitcoin still in early innings at $100,000, says ARK's Cathie Wood. Bitcoin became a $2 trillion asset in less than 16 years, while companies like Apple and Amazon took 42 and 29 years respectively to reach that value. Bitcoin recorded a historic milestone by smashing the $100,000 price mark on December 5th, but the cryptocurrency is still in the early innings, according to the ARK Invest CEO. Cathie Wood, founder and CEO of the crypto-friendly investment firm ARK, said the future of Bitcoin is bright even after BTC broke through $100,000. Wood took to X on December 5th to congratulate the industry on United States President-elect Donald Trump nominating pro-crypto Paul Atkins to replace Gary Gensler as the new chief of the Securities and Exchange Commission. She also mentioned that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell had described Bitcoin as a digital version of gold. Bitcoin is a much bigger idea than gold. Wood compared the Bitcoin market with spot gold, highlighting that gold is a $15 trillion market at the price of $2,700 per ounce. Bitcoin priced at $102,750 at the time of writing has a market value of about $2 trillion, which leaves it with significant potential to grow. In the context of Powell's reference to Bitcoin as digital gold, Wood hinted that the concept of Bitcoin is bigger than gold, given its digital and borderless nature. She said, "Indeed, ARK Invest believes that Bitcoin is a much bigger idea than gold." In March, Wood predicted that Bitcoin was well set to break a $1 million milestone by 2030. Bitcoin reached a $2 trillion market cap in less than 16 years. While Amazon took 29 years to reach a $2 trillion market value, Bitcoin made it in less than 16 years since the first BTC transaction occurred in January 2009. Apple, the second largest market after gold, took almost 42 years to reach a $2 trillion market capitalization for the first time in 2020. At its current price, Bitcoin accounts for 52.6% of the entire crypto market, with the total market cap standing at $3.9 trillion, according to CoinGecko. Bitcoin's breakthrough to $100,000 and emergence as a $2 trillion asset is a significant financial milestone for the cryptocurrency market, but it's not a surprise, according to Tranche's co-founder Danny Chong. The proliferation of financial institutions such as BlackRock, Fidelity, Grayscale, and others, coupled with Bitcoin ETFs being on the market in 2024, has set up the industry for this moment, Chong said, adding, "This price point isn't just a number, it's a testament to Bitcoin's growing legitimacy and mainstream acceptance." Our next top headline, Mt. Gox moves $2.4 billion in Bitcoin just after BTC surges past $100,000. Long bankrupt crypto exchange Mt. Gox moved over 24,000 Bitcoin to an unknown address after the cryptocurrency rose above $100,000. Long collapsed crypto exchange Mt. Gox moved over 24,000 Bitcoin, worth nearly $2.5 billion, to an unknown address on December 5th after the cryptocurrency hit a milestone of $100,000. Arkham Intelligence data shows the exchange moved 24,051 Bitcoin to an unknown address with no previous history, starting with 1N7J at 2:45 a.m. UTC on December 5th in its first transfer since November 12th. Mt. Gox's move came just 12 minutes after Bitcoin crossed $100,000 and less than half an hour before Bitcoin hit a high of $104,000 on Coinbase at 3:08 a.m. UTC per TradingView. It's unknown why Mt. Gox, which fell into bankruptcy in early 2014, has moved part of its holdings, but past similar moves have been a precursor to giving payouts to its creditors. Such moves are usually seen as bearish for Bitcoin, as it could mean billions worth are heading to those who might sell after being unable to access their Bitcoin for over a decade. Still, some analysts say the sell-side pressure for Mt. Gox payments is overblown because the market has already priced them in since they've been in the works for years. Mt. Gox creditors can receive their payouts in Bitcoin, and many creditors polled on Reddit in July after the exchange's first payout said they weren't rushing to sell their stack. In October, the Mt. Gox trustee managing the huge Bitcoin sum pushed the deadline to repay creditors to October 31st, 2025, extending it by a full year. It said many creditors still have not received their repayments because they have not completed the necessary procedures for receiving repayments. The exchange still holds 39,878 BTC, worth around $4.1 billion after its latest move, according to Arkham Intelligence data. So this concludes Crypto Top Headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.